Hello and welcome to another solve of a Guardian Cryptic Crossword. Even though today is April the 30th, 2021, I thought we would take a look at a crossword set by Puck on Friday the 18th of August 2017. Puck is one of those setters who can be quite devious and typically has a theme associated with his crosswords. He's been setting for the Guardian for many years, and I know that he sets for other newspapers as well. In the last few months, we've been seeing more of Puck than we would normally, and this is by no means a bad thing at all. And I thought that I would delve back into the Guardian archives to see what else he might have done that I personally haven't solved, and so at random I chose this one. So without any further ado, let's see where we get with that. Okay, one across then. Silly me. Sure, a fiddle featured in opera. Me sure a fiddle anagramized, where silly is that indicator, is 13 letters, and if it's the name of an opera, nothing leaps out at me. Probably need some letters. Let's look at 3 down because that's quite short. Where Puck gets a lot of stick, stalking female sculptor. Okay, well I suspect the definition is therefore a sculptor. Not necessarily female, because that could still be part of the wordplay. But where Puck, that could be I've, mine, my for the setter. Or it could conceivably be a reference to an object used in sport, such as ice hockey or hockey, where there is a puck, same as with air hockey. Stalking female makes me think of the letter F at the beginning and then this wordplay afterwards. Ah, yes, okay. Um, I think it was Elizabeth Frink, and a rink is where you would indeed see an ice hockey puck, and an F for female gives us the sculptor's surname. That's nice. Okay. Let's look at 2 down. Tiny Tim's first single, oddly playing around America right now. Definition probably is right now. Well, Tim's first is the letter T, and presumably tiny plus a T as well, and oddly being the anagram indicator there. Well, I mean, sorry, playing is the anagram indicator, but oddly could actually be the alternate letters of the word single. So we have 4, 5, and then we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then so for America could be US, I suppose, or sometimes just the letter A. Yeah, okay. If you anagramise the letter A for America plus tiny plus T, and you include the letters of S, N, and L, you get instantly for right now. Okay. 12. Strategy number 11. You're an idiot. Don't know what 11 is yet. Let's try and get one across though. It is an anagram. It must be of me short of fiddle. Must be a straightforward anagram. Name of an opera. I mean, I want that to be D. Probably German if it is D. Okay. Die Fledermaus. Fledermaus? Fieldmouse? Fledermaus? I think that was Strauss, who wrote that opera. Not one that I've seen, but I'm vaguely aware of the name at least. We can confirm my spelling at least with, well, let's look at 4 down. Saving money, excited, holding company. Definitions probably saving. Company is often CO plus the letters of money, excited being the anagram indicator, and if you anagramize money and CO, you get economy for saving. Cross. Cross capital, say, to give evidence. Looks like testimony. Oh, testy, I suppose, is cross and money is capital. It's a homophone indicator. 5 down. Muesli, a little yogurt, nuts, heaven. Definitions probably heaven. A little yogurt, possibly the letter Y or T. We have the letter Y already, so that fits. And then letters of muesli, and I think that Elysium is another word for heaven. Okay, let's look at 6. Plant herb, not rose, around ravine. Herb, not rose makes me think of a word where the letter R is taken out, perhaps for not rose. And the definitions of plant. It could be anything. It could be a stooge. A plant as in something deliberate. It could be the name of a plant, like marjoram, particularly if it's another name for a herb. Or it could be plant as in mechanical, that sort of idea. Works plants with lots of equipment and what have you. I'm not sure yet. We need a few other letters, don't we? Look at 11, that might help. Court. Summons gangster. Caught having sex earlier. Definitions probably caught. Gangster, to most crossword minds, typically think of Capone or Al. Given the short wordplay here, I suspect it's AL somewhere. Sex is often always IT, it, and a C for court. That court, actually, the definition is court summons and a cittle is such a thing. Okay. 7. 17 struck halfway through. Paul, Tramp, Vlad, even Rufus. Yes, initially. Okay, we need 17, but one of the things about this is Paul, Tramp, Vlad, and Rufus are and were um, Guardian crossword setters. I'm not quite sure what the definition is here yet until we get 17 though. Let's have a look at that. Setter. I am cross about 7. Cross could be ire, as in anger, or indeed the word anger. Cross, or it could actually be the letter X. That's quite common. And I do wonder if the letters of setter I'm plus an X gives us a word if we anagramize it. Extremist would fit. Okay. '17 stuck halfway through. I wonder if this is an embed. Ultra extremist. Okay. Why is that? Well, the initial letters of Vlad, even Rufus, yes, make very. And I suppose you could say, this ultra clever, ultra smart, very smart. It's tenuous, but this is Puck after all, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And an ultra extremist is indeed a phrase. Let's have a look at 13. That will help us 6. Found one soldier in elaborately decorated housing. I think the definition is found, as in I've seen something, or found as in established even. But one soldier, I mean, typically soldier is GI. One soldier is IGI or OGI. And then a word for elaborately decorated. I think that IGI here, and the word for elaborately decorated, given that O, I can only think is ornate, and originate is indeed found. That's quite nice, like that. On 16, nuts about you, said film star. Name of a film star. Must be a homophone of something. You said could be you as in sheep. Ah, yes, and mast is nuts as in what you feed to animals, and actually Mae West is an old film star, and there's your U for the homophone, female sheep. 6 down, plant, herb, not rose, around, ravine. So I think whenever this is, it's on the outside of another word for ravine, and we are looking for a plant. Herb, not rose. The other way of thinking about this is literally as it's, as we're being told, where herb, where the word rose is removed. The only one I can think of is rosemary, and that's tempting because Mary around the outside of something makes me think of machinery, plants. As I said earlier about works materials and that sort of thing. Ah, yes, and a chine is a ravine. You see those even here in the UK. Okay, that's quite a nice clue. Can we get 12? 11 is Sittle. Strategy number 11 for an idiot. Okay, the number 11 here isn't actually anything to do with 11 across. That's nice, but actually the 11th letter of the alphabet is K, and another word for strategy is plan, and a plank is a rather derogatory term, I suppose, for an idiot. Okay, it was 14. Doctor puts out to this examining body. Doctor can be the letters MD or MO for medical officer, and DR, but also sometimes it's a verb and therefore an anagram indicator to alter something. If you doctor something, you change it. I think that pays out as an anagram, gives us autopsy for examining body. That's quite nice. Okay, let's look at 18, I suppose. Heavenly. Choirs first, let's see. Seen after DIY mishap leads to bad back. So letter C for choirs first is in here somewhere. DIY mishap could just indicate the letters of DIY plus a C. Idyllic, because if you're ill, you're bad. Yeah, okay. So that fits. What's 8 therefore? More work required on song that's included with German opera. Oh gosh. If the definition is German opera, it's not leaping out at me. Definition is probably therefore just opera. Maybe German means something else. More work. Work is OP for opus. Song. More work. Actually, just looking at these letters here. Oh, that's clever. This isn't even the letters of more for more work, but I think it would. I think what we're being asked to do here is come up with a popular name for a book that Moore as a surname wrote, and I believe that Thomas More wrote a book or work called Utopia. And I think, if I remember correctly, there is an opera called Utopia Limited by, I want to say Gilbert and Sullivan, but I'm not sure. Where does limited work? Okay, a lead is a song in German, but actually with in German is mit, so that's how that all hangs together. That's quite nice. I like that. Again, not an opera that I've seen. I just happen to have heard of it. Logs in the back of my mind somewhere. 15. Murder with bad language beforehand. I think the definition is probably murder. Sometimes that can be, I mean, that's a collective noun for a group of crows. I don't think the word crow appears in here. Language beforehand. So I think we're being told that there's a word for language here and then a word for bad. The whole thing means murder. Polish, Polish is the language, and if something's off, it's bad. And if you polish off something, you finish it, and I suppose in some sense you can also therefore say that you've murdered it too, rather macabre sort of way. 20 across. Provision for baby agreed during brief correspondence. Correspondence, to my mind, is letter with the last letter removed, so that would be LETTE. And then if the definition is provision, for baby agreed is an I, it's in the eyes have it. And actually I think if you put that together, I believe a layette is what you do to provision for a new baby with sort of blankets and clothing and that sort of thing. Okay, 19 down. A newly invented word, e.g. a coj. Is that Spanish for welcome? I think. It's not a word in English somewhere, but I've got a feeling it's Spanish, and if I have mispronounced that, I apologise. I have no idea what the answer is, though. I can't see it from that. I need some more letters. Look at 21 across. Absorbing content from singer, songwriter. See, I'm inclined to ignore the hyphen there. And so the content from singer is INGE. And if ingesting, yes, because Sting is the songwriter. If you're a fan of the Police, of course. Well, I'm not. 22 down. Brilliance of one of Elgar's variations. Well, I think that's just an anagram of Elgar's, therefore, and glare is brilliant. 24 cost looks like errato. Love is errato. Rat often provided inspiration for poet. Yeah, you can see there it's an embed. Errato. Was the muse of lyric poetry. 20 down. Book by author with no energy. Blockages. Okay, book is often NT or OT, where it's New Testament or Old Testament, but not always. It could even be a log, actually, looking at this for book, a log book, that's tempting. I think the definition's blockages, and we're looking for an author with no energy, which immediately makes me think of a name where the E is taken out. Log jams would be a blockage. Oh, and James is a popular name for authors. James Joyce, Henry James, E.L. James even. Okay, it's quite nice. 23 tips off. Cruel schoolmaster, that's odd. Tips off means take the first and last letters off a word, and you're left with something that's odd. Queer is odd, and Squeers was the headmaster in a Dickensian novel, Nicholas Nickleby, probably, I think, memory serves. Christ, a tough one. 23 down can only therefore begin with another U because that's the rule in English. Having no starter, so the first letter removed, drink scotch, that's squash, and quash, therefore, for scotch. 25 across, a choreographer's entertaining friend, that's French statesman. If this is a word for a statesman, I don't know it, can't see it. And a word for choreographer, I wouldn't know. To come back to that, let's try and get 9. Bass or bass has warning about fish in opera. Another opera. B for bass is fine. Warning makes me think of alert. Oh yes, Albert. Albert Herring. Albert Herring. Herring is a fish. Albert Herring is an opera by Benjamin Britten, I think. Again, not one I've seen. Heard of it. I'd like to see it, I'm sure. But the wordplay certainly fits. And given that we've had operas all the way around the edge of the grid, I'm going to guess that this too is an opera. Yeah. Führer's Edict, ruined, unknown. Opera. Unknown can often be an X or Y or Z in algebraic notation for when you're trying to solve things that are unknown. Führer's Edict, ruined. I think if you anagramize Führer's Edict with an X, Y, or a Z, you get the name of an opera. I am thinking of one, and my apologies in advance for any German speakers because I'm about to butcher this pronunciation. But I think the Friesich was the name of an opera by Weber. I want to say it means the marksman, the shooter. I don't quite know, but I'm pretty certain that that's what we're looking for here. And again, apologies for any appalling pronunciations there. And I think it's spelt like that, which leaves us with a newly invented word, e.g. Oh, a CO in age is coinage for newly invented. I've coined something. Oh God. Good grief. And a choreographer, again, name of a choreographer, entertaining friend that's French. Well, friend that's French is ami. A plus ami. Okay, gives us 4. And then we're left with a 5-letter word for choreographer. And statesman, country, or statesman possibly from the US, particularly from a US state. Alabamian. Ah, yes, because Laban was a choreographer, I think. I mean, Alabamian fits, so I'll take it. Gosh, and we're done. My goodness me. that was pretty tough. Goodness knows where I dredged up some of the names for these operas. I've obviously had some sort of misspent youth somewhere, but that was certainly Puck in all his glory and finest, and I really did enjoy this crossword. So thanks to Puck, and thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Stay safe. Cheers.